to talk about building community. Not building communities, that's a different video. How we're building community. I'm going to tell you about my story, how I developed my community through years of travel, through years of getting out of my comfort zone, why community is so important, and why it's so important to motivate you, to activate you, to be surrounded by a community that you can trust, that you can learn from, that you can respect, that make you a full man. So, firstly, my story. I started out back in Massachusetts. I was living in Massachusetts for most of my life, and there was a good community. I had some close friends. I got along with people, had my family there. It was very easy for me. And there's nothing wrong with that. There's nothing wrong with being somewhere that has familiarity, that has people that you know, people you love, people you care about. However, it becomes a problem when that community and that environment prevents you from going any further in your life, from growing any direction you want to go into. Perhaps there's an influence, perhaps there's other people wanting you to live a certain life that you shouldn't be living. That's why I got out of Massachusetts and moved to Los Angeles. That's where everything changed for me. I started group coaching in Massachusetts. I decided to take my own future in my own hands instead of following my parents' plan, which was nice. They cared for me, they loved me, they want me to do well. That's all I knew. I realized that I had to do something for myself. So got into self-development path and started learning about the power of your community. That's when I decided to start group coaching, and then from that group coaching, I decided to move from my comfort bubble of Massachusetts all the way over to Los Angeles. Now, this is the other side of the country, very far away. Didn't really know what I was going to do there. Didn't have a place to stay for long term, but I knew it would work out. So I went to Los Angeles with one thing in mind, and that was to live somewhere new and feel what it's like to be in a totally different area without anyone else to support me besides myself. So when I was living in Los Angeles, I met an incredible crew. I met Rob Earth, I met Troy Case Certified Health Nut, my good buddy Brian, who's still with me actually here where I'm living now. And these people shaped my knowledge, shaped my ability to apply different backgrounds, different understandings, different health modalities in my own lifestyle. And that's when I really solidified my desire to become so health conscious. On top of that, there was a community online that was forming. You may have heard of it, called the Aphro-D Academy. And besides Farhan, Doc Farhan, who has been a catalyst in a lot of the growth and the changes in my life that have led me to pursue what I truly want to pursue and have the most ability to pursue in, there are also people on the way like Andre. Coach Andre has been someone that I've respected and always worked alongside with, because he's always been on the shy side, and so have I. And we've worked together to bust through those barriers of our shyness to grow our own communities. On top of that small niche group, we have people like Xander Holt, who went by the name of Van when I first met him, who was talking about dancing and getting out and expressing yourself. So spending time with those people just taught me so much about myself. And that's when I decided to make the most out of my trip in LA and realized that it was probably a good idea to move to Hawaii. Now, Hawaii was a little bit different. I really wanted to stay in LA. I really liked the people in there, but they were all leaving. LA was changing. People weren't going to stay there that I was getting along with. They're all moving for different reasons. And this was about early 2020, late 2019, so you can probably figure out why they were leaving. That is when I decided to drive around the country again and then move to Hawaii. So I have a little bit of experience with changing my surroundings and changing my comfort levels. Now, I'm a big proponent of making sure that you don't get addicted to always changing and having to shift yourself, because that's the only thing that's gonna make you feel like you can actually make a change in your life. There's plenty of ways to change and stay exactly where you are. So you don't need to leave your location. But what you do need to realize is that comfort kills connection. So when you're comfortable, when you're not going out there meeting new people, going dancing, going to the gym, going to join a jiu-jitsu gym, joining a music group, something that you're interested in, you're not going to make any new connections than what you already have. So that's the biggest applicable factor that I got out of all the moving that I did, outside of just changing locations, I changed my social circles. I changed my ability to approach people in places that I was interested in, and I grew from there. So for me, it's revolved a lot around natural food, a lot around health. So I started becoming a purveyor and someone who was seeking out information in the health community. So that's where it comes to, where do you surround yourself? How do you surround yourself with the right people? I would say surround yourself with leaders. So those who inspire you, those who teach you. There's a beautiful thing psychologically. When you're a wise man and you have this knowledge, or woman, you have this amazing, incredible knowledge, you are able to gift your services. Now you can give your services as a program, as online programs, or as a gym, or as some kind of coursework. But one of the best parts about giving your gifts when you are at that level, like the guys who have helped me immensely in my journey, like Doc Farhan, Sumer, Xander Holt, and countless others in the Academy, is the ability to learn themselves more by teaching. They reward themselves by teaching, by sharing their experiences, by seeing someone who's so passionate and so supportive and so excited for them about what their mission is, that they are able to, in turn, feel good about sharing their knowledge with you, because it's a win-win situation. Make sure you aren't going at someone or a group with the intention to take something. You want to provide curiosity, provide insight, provide compassion, provide understanding, just listening, just excitement. And then in return, you get the openness, the transparency, the vulnerability, or you can subscribe to an online platform. There's plenty of courses online, but there's also plenty of people that have men's groups, right? Men's groups is a big part for me. You join this men's circle and they do ice baths, qigong, breath work, all of those things that you can get yourself involved with. There's different tribes online. A lot of them are digital right now, so there's Zoom, which is still great. It's still good to have a tribe like that. I say any tribe that you can get around and doesn't have a focus or a main motivator of substance or alcohol, so going to the bars, going to the concerts, doing these things feels like community, but it's actually holding you back. So how do you actually get yourself out there and get this community? How do you find this? Especially for introverts versus extroverts. Now, I'm considered extroverted. I'm an outgoing person. I'm shy. I'm socially awkward at times, but I'm extroverted. So if you're an introverted person, the focus is going to be through creation. You build community through creation. What you create is what your community is going to resonate with, right? So if you want to create something, you can create strength gains at the gym, a soccer club, making sure that the focus is something other than just drinking, smoking, watching TV, watching sports, something that you're doing that's providing you value as a human being. That's very important if you want to be around people who want to grow and enrich themselves alongside you. You can join music, you can join surfing clubs, you can go out and go dancing, you can do salsa dance, you can do swing dance. Join some kind of community that is more than just consumption. So something that is providing value. And I would say the best way to actively search for those things in your community is by getting yourself in a position where you are either, if you're introverted, do research on it, get uncomfortable. And if you're not introverted, if you're extroverted, then go to a place that you're interested in. Go to an event, some kind of gathering for something that you like a lot. And that will be a great start for your journey in order to build community. And the reason why community is so important for you is because when you get community, you can then apply your knowledge and feel motivated. You have a group of people who want to see you succeed, who want to see you get better. And there's also sometimes people who are personally involved, like a dance competition or a band or some kind of community-based event that you can actually get better at skills at, and people want you to get better because if you win, they win. So you need to find what works best for you to build that community. But once you do find the community, you will be able to have so much more motivation, so much more clarity in anything, and then you can apply that to the rest of your life and use that as fuel and as passion and as that fire that lets you take control of your life and just grab it by the wayons, the wayons.